Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from McFarlane Toys in their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Batman from the upcoming Flash movie. Alright, so the movie has not come out yet, and if I had to guess, I believe this is the Ben Affleck Snyderverse Batman in his new updated armor. A beautiful looking action figure as always from McFarlane Toys. It looks incredible, and you'll notice that we're actually getting an extra pair of hands. Very rarely do we get alternate hands, and I hope this is a trend that will continue in the near future. I think it's awesome. One thing I noticed about my figure is that if you look at his face carefully, it looks like they forgot to paint his eyes. I think the promotional photos, he had white lenses on his mask, but my lenses, they're not painted in. So I don't know if that's an error on my copy of the figure or if they're just all like that. On the side of the box, you have the Flash logo, and then you have Batman. And then on the back of the box, you just have some comic book inspired artwork. So let's take this out. So previously, I've already reviewed Supergirl and also the Michael Keaton Batman. Both excellent action figures, especially the Supergirl. I think that one's amazing. The 89, or the Michael Keaton Batman, it's a great figure. Not that I have any problems with it, but I think it fell just a little bit short of my expectations. But, you know, that's not to say it's not a spectacular figure. You know, it really is. And this one, I'm hoping it's more of the same. This one looks great. You get the trading card, and you also get the display base. And like I pointed out earlier, one thing that was a surprise to me is that we're getting alternate hands. You know, I really hope this is something that McFarlane does more of in the future. So that's awesome. And let's get this guy out. Alright, so as of this recording, it's April 26th, 2023, and the movie has not been released yet. Yesterday they released the second trailer, and the movie looks amazing. I am so amped up for this new Flash movie. In some ways, I'm kind of disappointed that we've gotten so many spoilers for the movie in the form of action figures. Because I would have loved to have been surprised for the first time to see all this stuff, you know, on the big screen first, as opposed to getting toys. But you know, it is what it is, and this looks great. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, I don't know, it kind of bothers me that my eyes aren't painted in. Like I said, I thought the promotional photos, he had white eyes, but mine are just blank. So I don't know if that's, you know, an error on my figure or if that's just how all the figures are. You'll notice that this costume, if this is the Ben Affleck character, you'll notice that the armor is a lot different than what we've seen previously in, you know, Batman vs. Superman and the Justice League movie. When I first saw this, my first impression was that it looks like an amalgamation between Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale's Dark Knight trilogy Batman, with the Snyderverse one, where this is just like, it seems like it's a lot of armor plating, you know, like some sort of tactical armor, and it looks pretty neat. If you've seen any of the spy photos, you know, this costume will be very familiar to you. You know, early in the production, there were a lot of paparazzi photos of Ben Affleck or his stunt double wearing this costume and riding around on the bat cycle. But it's pretty well done. You know, I mean, I haven't seen the film yet, but from what I gather, it looks pretty accurate. The head looks really nice. I like it a lot. You know, even though my eyes aren't painted in, I like the sculpt a lot. The short horns really fit the Snyderverse Batman. You know, he has the big chin also. And you'll notice the difference in plastic qualities and textures. For example, the mask and cowl, it's almost kind of like a different plastic than over here. You know, this almost takes on the appearance of looking more rubber-like. And it's definitely a different shade of black. It's a little bit more on the gray side. Whereas all the armor plating, it's a little bit glossier, a little bit deeper and richer. And then the utility belt, it's kind of like almost like a drab, dark olive. I don't know what this is over here that's kind of dangling off. I think that's on both sides right here. A lot of armor plating on his upper legs, knees, and shins. Nice texture on the shin guards. As for the articulation, let's examine that up close. Batman's head rotates. Does he look down? Looks down about there. Does he look up? Looks up pretty, yeah, that's pretty decent. One issue I had with the Michael Keaton Batman is that his cape, even though it was made of cloth, it kept on getting caught underneath the shoulder pauldron. So I don't think that'll be an issue with this one. The shoulder pauldron on this one's a lot flatter and more flush with the actual arm. And then there's also the butterfly joint underneath. It's a ball-socketed one, much like other McFarlane toys. There's a cut mid-torso, so it allows movement there. It's kind of tight on my figure. It doesn't want to really rotate all that far. Does he crunch forward? Not really. Does he arch back? Yeah, arching back's a different story. This guy can really arch back. So if you want to get him in some nice diving poses, you could. His legs kick up about there. They kick out. Not too far out, surprisingly. It looks like we have a thigh cut right there, which is nice. Not too many. I can't remember any other McFarlane figures where we've gotten an upper thigh cut. I believe this is so that he could be seated on the bat cycle more comfortably. Double pinned knees right about there. Articulated ankles and toes. So overall, it's a very solid looking figure. Am I disappointed? Not one bit, except for the fact that my eyes aren't painted in, unless that's just how it's supposed to be. Otherwise, it's a fantastic looking figure. It has the cloth cape. You know, I'm sure this is kind of a point of debate for some collectors. You know, there's probably some out there that prefer the plastic cape, but for this, it makes sense. You know, if you want to seat this in the Batmobile or on the Bat Cycle. You know, you might even look into like getting a third-party cape that's wired. You know, if you want something with a little bit more dynamic styling. But it's all right. You know, it looks like it serves its purpose. So overall, very solid figure, and you could hand swap. Let me see how easy it is to remove the hands. Yeah, the hands just pull right off. Very thin, small peg, and then there's a socket. So they're not too tight. You know, swapping the hands out should be a breeze. So overall, I think it's a great figure. You know, if I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, for me, a solid 8 to 8.5. If I was generous. You know, it's definitely a beautiful looking figure. Makes me even more excited for the movie. And if this is something you've been waiting for, I think it's well worth the wait. And I kind of feel like, you know, if you have this, you really need the Bat Cycle to complement, you know, this figure. It's gonna be hard to say no to like picking up that Bat Cycle, especially, you know, once that movie comes out. So. Alright, so let's wrap this one up. Beautiful action figure, as always, from McFarlane Toys. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.